The Deluxe Edition Network, also known as The Den, is an incredible podcast network that offers a wide variety of entertaining and informative podcasts.
With a lineup of shows covering various topics, such as interviews with a wide variety of guests, history, music, relationships, true crime, and so much more. The Den provides content that caters to a diverse range of interests.
The hosts and guests on the Deluxe Edition Network demonstrate a deep passion and expertise in their respective fields, making each episode on each show engaging and thought-provoking.
The network fosters a sense of community by encouraging listeners to interact through live chats, social media, and forums, creating an inclusive environment for discussion and sharing opinions.
With its commitment to high-quality production, the shows in the Deluxe Edition Network continue to captivate and entertain its ever-growing audience.
Whether you're a podcast enthusiast or someone looking to explore new topics, The Den is a fantastic platform to dive into and uncover fascinating insights from experts in their fields.
The Deluxe Edition Network is the home of independent awesomeness.
To find all these great podcasts in one convenient location, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Hi, I think you're really cute.
Oh, thank you. I think that you're really pretty as well.
Oh, thank you. That is so sweet. Did you want to grab a drink this weekend or something?
Ugh. No. Oh. Oh, okay. No. Yeah, no, makes sense. Yeah, what?
What? Hello and welcome to the Milf And Me podcast. I'm your host, Antonio, here with my lovely co-host, Diana. Welcome back.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. What do you think about that? Is that the dating culture these days where it's like, hey, you know what? I kind of like you. Okay. Should we date? Ugh.
Yeah. Like, you're cute. You're cute. Oh, that's awesome. Let's go meet for a drink. And then it's all of a sudden, I mean, sometimes, yeah. I think that there needs to be a little bit more conversation happening before you are like, let's meet up.
Right.
You know, like, first of all,
and if
are you single?
Meeting up.
How single are you? Let's talk
Right.
about that first, right?
If you're meeting up, that's not like an instant invitation to be in a relationship.
Right.
You know? And I think that's one of the things that I'm totally guilty of back in the day, where it's like, by date 2, if I think that you're still interested in me, oh, well, then we're going to be in a relationship. And I don't know, is it me, or is it when we were dating in like the 90s and 2000, when you got married in the 2000s, so I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But relationships started faster.
Oh, yeah.
When we were younger, right?
Yeah.
And now I feel people don't just jump into things. They take their time a little bit more, maybe because they have more options on dating sites or dating apps or...
Yeah, that could be. That could be. I think maybe people are just like slowing down. I mean, the world today, opposed to when it was in the early 2000s, is just different. Everything is so different. Technology, all of it. Access, like you said, more options, access to people, and the divorce rate.
And the divorce rate. Did I have this conversation with you? Maybe I'm thinking about someone else, where there's all the differentiators between generations, right? So like if you look at what happened between the 60s and the 70s in, let's say, the politics and the style, you know, you've got, you know, the people that were in the psychedelic age, then they go to the hippies in the 70s.
Yeah.
And then a decade later, we got like the new wave crazy styles of the 80s.
Yeah.
And then the 90s, we've got this like faux futuristic parachute pants, MC Hammer shit.
I had some of those.
Yeah, so did I. But then when you start looking at the 2000s until now, that's 23 years.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot has changed. You know, some of the styles might have changed, but like the differentiators between generations and decades have barely been noticeable. And my theory about that is that technology has changed. So technology becomes the new vested interest instead of like self-projection and style changes and music changes. I mean, there's a lot of just rock and roll music right now that sounds identical to the stuff that was coming out in the early 2000s.
Yeah. So you're probably right. It's probably like a FOMO, right?
Right.
People aren't jumping into relationships now because technology has progressed so much, and you have all the social medias. You have so many ways to meet people. And so there's like this FOMO of, well, if I jump into this relationship with this person, but I really want to be in a relationship with that person.
Oh my God.
What if that person starts coming around and showing interest in me, but I've already committed to this person. So I'm just going to slow down and not rush into anything with anyone. That's probably most likely 90% true. What do you think?
Fucking terrible, because it just made me think about something.
Do you think that's kind of true, though?
Oh, it's 100% true.
Yeah.
Because I remember back in the day, let's say you had the girl that you really, really, really liked, but then you also had plan B, right?
Yeah.
You had the girl that maybe liked you a lot more than your primary crush did, and you liked that person just well enough that, okay,
yeah,
I could either date her for a while, see where it goes, and those relationships often ended up in someone getting their heart broken.
Yep.
But you know what? It was sincere. Those were sincere emotions.
Yeah.
And I feel nowadays, because of the disposability of relationships and hookup culture, mostly from these apps and mostly from the idea that like there's less attachments to relationships and emotional bonds anymore.
Yeah.
Like that's where ghosting comes in. That's where catfishing comes in. All these little terms and like novelties that have come into the dating world in the last 20 years all stem from the fact that technology has connected us faster, giving us more opportunities to fuck and also get our hearts broken.
Yes, totally agree with that.
And then people like you and me, the older generation.
Yeah.
We still go into these fucking things with the romanticized fantasy that we had when we were in our prime, right? In our 20s.
Yeah.
And we forget how much royal fuckery there is out there.
Yes. It's very difficult, for sure.
And
dating right now, it just, I've said it a million times. It's a special kind of hell. It is.
What if?
Oh boy.
What if? I'm going to go sci-fi here. We're going to go dystopian here.
Ooh.
Would you rather keep doing what you're doing, just fishing in this fucking cesspool of dickheads and bullshit and fuckboys?
Yeah.
Or you go to this office, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you draw a number, and someone at the end of the month calls your number. And you're taken to a room, and then you're matched with a guy who's given a number as well that corresponds with yours. You never met this person, but you've been matched through a computer, through the government, let's say. This is dystopia.
Oh, boy.
And this person is now your person for life, based on the computer and government-run algorithm that has put you two together.
Ooh.
Would you take that, or would you go back to fuckboy land?
I don't like either of those options. What the fuck?
You're not supposed to like them all. That's the point. We're not supposed to like any of this shit because no one gets what they really want anymore.
Yeah, I mean, no, I would rather.
I got what I want, but
yeah,
at the same time, I'm lucky.
Yeah,
and there's a kid involved. You know.
Yeah, no, I would go back into the cesspool fuckboy land because I would much rather be alone than have this weird thing that you just described of the government matching me up with someone. I'd rather be by myself, single, than to have that happen.
Well, let's say that's not an option.
I can't be single. I have to find someone in the cesspool fuckboy.
Because I'm telling you right now, this could happen. The government is so fucking scared right now about people not getting together and not having kids.
Really?
That is why states are trying to outlaw the no-fault divorce. That's why states are trying to outlaw domestic partnerships I live in right now.
You're seeing the beginning of what...
I'm seeing the beginning of what could happen. Because if states are doing this, it's going to do one of two things. It's going to drive couples further apart. It's going to make people not ever want to be with anybody.
Yeah.
They'll stay home and have sex with their fuck doll, right?
Right.
That's got the vibrating vagina and mouth.
The whole thing.
Yeah. And you can tune it up to your iPhone. You can, you can have Justin Timberlake bringing "Sexy" back as like the background rhythm.
Yeah.
Or they have this government-run, state-funded system to make sure that people are as compatible as they can be with the person they pick, and then that's your person. There's enough lonely fucking people who've just had it that I guarantee would be like, yeah, give me the fucking number. Take me to the office. I'm in.
That's wild. And then what happens if it's just like so toxic and horrible and abusive when you get set up with this fucking government dude that had the same number as you? Like, where is the end to that?
That's where the pharmaceuticals come in.
Oh,
yeah. Antidepressants.
Take this little pill.
Take this little pill. Take this little shot in the morning. I mean, I'm talking bullshit, but at the same time,
yeah,
fucking crazy things have happened in the last 15 years that I never thought I'd ever see happen.
Yep.
Yeah. And there would be just enough people.
I couldn't do it.
Who would be like, you know what? Because of all these fucking toxic Western women and all these blah, 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 and gender roles, and we need this to happen. They would support it. Someone would vote this in.
I'd probably need to sit back and watch it unfold. Like, so how did that government relationship go? How's that going for you guys, right? Like, how did this whole setup, how did it go for you? I would probably do a little research, but I don't think I could do it regardless.
I could see you becoming like Sarah Connor from the Terminator and starting like this underground army of women who are like, we will not take this number and marry this man.
And every single woman that's stepped foot in this studio would be a part of my army because there's no fucking way they would do it.
You guys would sneak out at night.
Yeah.
And you would kidnap unsuspecting young men off the street.
Yeah.
Take them to your underground lair, fuck the shit out of them, and raise this whole new civilization of people that wish to be free.
Yeah, that's crazy. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
I'm going to write that movie. That sounds fucking awesome.
It kind of does. It kind of does.
Anyway, I don't know how we got off on that tangent, but going back to technology, that's what kind of really is the subject of today's episode.
Yep.
Spying. Couples spying on each other, and not just like the traditional spying. Like, we've all seen the old movies or read the old novels of like, the husband who's having an affair, you know, he's got that infidelity going on, and the wife hires a PI to go like videotape him from his car and shit. Remember that show Cheaters back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh, I loved Cheaters. I loved watching dudes get busted, you know?
Yep.
And now almost all of the ways that people spy on each other is technological. Have you ever caught a partner spying on you or trying to like get into your phone, trying to, let's say, get into your identity? And no. Lucky you. I don't think I have either. I'm also really open with my phone. Like, I'm not one of these turn the screen down dudes.
No, I am too. There's nothing to see in there. If I'm in a relationship with someone, there's nothing to see.
Right.
But if we haven't had that relationship talk yet, that would be awkward as hell if he was digging through stuff. I would be like, I can just show it to you. It'd be probably easier.
Kristen has the password to my phone, but I don't even think she cares because she has to ask me sometimes, like, oh, what is it again? You know, there's a level of trust there. I've definitely been in those relationships where that trust was not there.
I have too.
And we've talked about this before. How fucked up is it like that the people that were the most paranoid about our behaviors were the ones that were fucking around the most, right?
It's because it's a direct reflection of what they're portraying on you. Yeah. It's textbook.
So as I kind of dived into this, it got a little creepy about like what's actually going on there. So it's no surprise for those who have left the days of Tinder behind them and have found a secret to happy relationships, paranoia about whether or not their partner is remaining faithful sometimes sets in. But would you ever spy on your loved one in order to put your mind at ease? Well, according to this study done by Marie Claire, 26% of women say they just can't help spying on their partner. That seems a little low for me. What do you think?
That's pretty low. Yep.
58% of the women who took part admitted to not trusting their partner. 58% of the women in the survey did not trust their partner.
Yep.
As a result of this, 43% have spied on their significant other, with 37% confessing to reading their partner's WhatsApp and text messages. On that same note, only 21% of the men who took part in this survey didn't trust their partner. So, according to this data, and we all know about data, men seem to trust their partners more than women do.
Yep.
But you always hear on these stupid social media apps and influencers that women are all hoes and they're all going to cheat and they're all going to leave you.
They're trying to just flip those percentages. It's never going to happen. Men are just really, they're very sexual creatures.
Yeah.
They just are. And if you're not supplying and giving every single thing that they need, they're going to find it elsewhere.
Do you also
it
think
just
that,
doesn't matter
do you also think there's like part of like the ego thing involved where I think I've known dudes
for the fucking assholes? Yes, of
Yeah.
course. Like, oh, I can do this. I can get her and I can have her and I can have this and I can have all these women and they would never find out about each other. Yeah. There's those guys, right? That's ego.
I'm not even saying the assholes. I know dudes who are, let's say, are solid sixes who think that their wife would never go out on them and they could easily cheat and never get caught. And I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions about guys that are cheating is that they say that like, oh, well, if you get caught, it's because you wanted to get caught. I think it's two things. I think one, you're just a fucking idiot who thought you were invincible. A lot of my guy friends are in this mindset.
Yeah.
They literally think that nothing can touch them. Nothing can hurt them.
That's wild. That's ego. Yeah,
Well,
I see what you're saying.
And then they end up tripping over their own shoelaces.
Right.
They fall face first into fuckery.
Right.
And then there's the other guys that are so fucking paranoid about it, they end up giving themselves up because the weight and the pressure and the guilt of getting away with it is the part that actually is more painful than the idea of them getting caught without giving themselves up first.
There's just no reason for it. That's what I have a hard time wrapping my own brain around.
Right.
I am so far on the other side of the spectrum of this whole topic. It's something I will never understand because there's no reason for it. You come together as a couple and you discuss what you need, what the relationship is lacking. You give opportunity to make change. Or if you're not a monogamous person, stop fucking trying
to be monogamous. Yeah.
It is such a, it's almost, I mean, I don't want to make this sound weird or not, but so many types of lifestyles now are being accepted very openly. There's no reason for the word cheating. There's no reason for any of it. So,
oh my God, you're right.
There is another side to this. I think that there are men and women, I'm not going to just single out the men, that it's exciting for them to hide it. They get off on the fact that they're hiding it, and it's an excitement. And that is a completely different level. That's a kink. Now we're talking, oh my God, I might get caught. This is hot. I'm turned on. This makes me hard, right? This is now turning into a kink/fetish.
It's interesting because I remember hearing one therapist or influencer on one of these sites say that, yes, the percentage in the data of men getting caught cheating is a lot higher.
Yeah.
Because women just don't get caught. They're more cautious about it. They don't brag about it with like their friends, maybe their close friends, and even that can be dangerous.
Sure.
But you guys keep things closer to your chest.
Right.
We are so braggadocious that we have to tell somebody.
Yeah.
And then that somebody's so braggadocious that they got to tell somebody.
Right.
You know, I've got very few guy friends
That's ego.
that
That's all
I
ego.
trust, you know?
Yeah.
Even the ones that I thought I could trust, all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, you told so-and-so that? Like, I thought that was supposed to be, we're going to keep that until we're dead secret, you know?
Yeah. No, but I mean, we're not 20 years old. We're in our 40s. If you feel the need to get other needs met from other women, I'm talking to the men, and you've sworn on your life that you're monogamous, you're not. It's simple. Stop trying to fight it and stop trying to put yourself in this box. It's okay.
Yeah.
Be who you want to be. And if your partner doesn't choose to accept it, then get out of the relationship and be free in the situation that you want. Right? There should be no reason for cheating at all. There just shouldn't.
I love what you said about now there's so many different lifestyles that are accepted and available.
Yeah.
That it's like, okay, if that is what drives you,
yeah,
that's where you need to be.
Right.
You know, like you're right. There really isn't a reason except for extreme circumstances, which I don't even want to bring up on the show, that you can't explore the sexuality that you're attracted to.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to go be in the swinger club, go be in the swinger club. If you
Yeah.
want to be in a polyamorous relationship, go do that. You have to accept the fact that your partner's probably not going to be on board. Or if they really, really love you, you guys will come to some kind of compromise, which that's difficult. Like, I don't know if I could go up to Chris and be like, hey, I kind of want to fuck dudes on Saturday. Are you cool with that? We'll be fine. We can still do what we do. It's just Saturday nights. I'm going to go fuck dudes.
Right.
I think she'd understand, but at the same time, you know, she would definitely be like, well, that just doesn't work for me. You know, it could be. I'm not going to say that's how she'd think, but just the idea that I don't know for sure is enough for me to be like, well, that's not what we're going to do, you know?
But we're going to get down a rabbit hole. You know that, right? I have to add on to what you just said.
Please do.
It literally opens up a conversation, though. If you were seriously going to say that to Kristen, if that was said to me, I would be like, well, what the how about I help you out? What the fuck am I not doing for you? Do you want me to put a strap on?
Yeah.
Like, how can I make it so that you are having your sexual needs? Like, what? No. Like, absolutely right. Like, I can choose if that sounds like a good idea, but where is your partner at, and where is the line that she or he is willing to cross? And the whole point in having a relationship is to be with somebody that you can be completely open with about every fucking thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot, and I'm holding back right now a lot because I don't want to get down a rabbit hole. This is a completely different episode, right? Like it's an episode in its own,
right?
But there's got to be compromise, and there's going to be sexual desires and things that your partner's going to need and want that you're not going to want to do.
Right.
It's like, are we going to be selfish and not fulfill that need? If she wouldn't be able to fulfill that need, then maybe she would let you do that on Saturdays.
Maybe,
right?
Maybe.
But the point is that you came together and talked about it.
Right.
There's no cheating. There's no fuckery. There's nothing going on in the background because we're not 20 years old.
Right. And that's the whole thing, is like the suspicion part, you know, because if I agree with you 100%, and this is, you know, my most productive relationships were the ones where I was the most open in my communication and encouraging my partner to be the same way too, because the more you talk about these things, the less reason you have for suspicion.
That's why my phone has never been gone through. I mean, you have to know that. There's reasons why I've never had someone doing this in my life in the background, because I tell them everything. I get everything out in the open.
Fault.
Right. I get everything out in the open right out of the gates because there's no reason for the spy tactics and all this bullshit that you're about to read. But
it's also trauma too, right? Because if they've been in relationships that were full of infidelity, or and it doesn't even have to be infidelity.
Trust issues.
Trust issues.
Yeah.
It could be embezzlement.
Right.
We know a lot about that lately.
Yep.
People that, oh my God, he's been taking money from you. She's been embezzling you this whole time. So it doesn't necessarily have to be about sex or love or relationships. It can be about money.
Right.
It can be about influence. It can be about having the desire to have some kind of control or power over somebody by having information about them that could be utilized for something devious.
Yep.
And that's where this stuff comes in.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about spyware or
I don't
malware
either.
and shit like that.
I don't either. It's
This
so
scared
bad.
the shit out of me. It is so easy. And I'm going to do like a Fight Club thing where I'm going to like give away how easy it actually is. There are apps that you can literally download off the Apple Store that will help you spy on your partner's phone. There are spywares that are perfectly legal. There's one called Flexi Spy. There's one called My Spy. There's one called Couple Tracker. There's one called M Couple that literally you can plug into your laptop while their phone is locked, and it'll give you access to their texts. It'll give you access to all the shit that they're trying to hide. And not only that, it can geotag their phone and let you know where they're at. So it essentially turns their phone into an Apple AirTag, and they don't even know it. And fucking people are doing this all the time.
That is creepy.
And there's been times where like you've talked to me about like, I don't know how this motherfucker knew where I was tonight. I don't know how this guy blah, blah, blah. Or how he knew where my friend was.
Yeah.
Well, now that I know this shit exists and that it's like accessible.
Yes.
Fuck me. That's another reason for me to not want to be out in the dating world again.
Yeah, this is not good. Like, this is scary shit.
And then look at this. There are other things that couples have done too, such as hiding cameras in smoke detectors in mattresses that have motion sensors that expose questionable activity. I'm not going to name any names, but I personally know of a person that bought a little mini camera off Amazon for $10 and put it in their girlfriend's bathroom.
No way.
Yep. And I don't know whatever they found from it, but like they were so sure that she was cheating that they put this little camera in her bathroom. I'm like,
and
fucking A, bro. I never really heard much about it. So,
holy shit. Is this someone you talk to regularly?
No.
Whoa. Yeah, wow.
But that's crazy shit. So this is one of the things that I found too on WikiHow. How to spy on your man.
Oh my God.
Number 1, question what your man is telling you. Some men are liars and will lie to your face consistently. They think that they can always get away with it. And if there are any indications that he is lying, you need to find out the truth. You can spy, and then you can decide on whether or not to make or break the relationship. So, number 2, make his phone your best friend. Believe it or not, some men have everything on their phones. Check to see if there are any apps downloaded on his phone that look funny or fishy. You would be surprised that an app that looks like a game can actually be an app for hidden audio and text messages and other stuff. So keep in mind and have an eye on what is downloaded on his phone.
Oh my God. How exhausting.
Right?
This is like so ridiculous.
This one's very common. Check to see if he has social media or Snapchat. You know that there may be nasty girls who will send pics of themselves naked to him privately and you wouldn't even know it. Like Instagram now has direct messaging where they can send private pics back and forth. You should be able to check out who has been sending messages to him and what they are. I mean, that's kind of an old school one. Everyone kind of knows that. And it's weird, too, because now you've got these influencers who look like they are yoga instructors, right?
Yeah.
Or massage therapists or something like that. But then they've got the little chili pepper OnlyFans link. And so you click on that. Yep. It's like, oh, now they're naked. So it's a little, it's good marketing for sure.
Yeah, that's so true. It's a different world, dude. It is. With all the access to all this, like you're proving my point.
Right. Number 4, check to see if he takes his phone with him to the bathroom and safeguards it all day.
Yeah.
I guarantee you've seen that before.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
If I take my phone to the bathroom, it's because I'm pooping with it. Like I'm swiping on Tinder. Like
you're swiping on Tinder. No, I've dated people that do this, that have done this with their phone. They take it, they just can't have it out of their sight. And then the whole flipping it upside down thing too.
This is another interesting one. Does he go to sleep and let his phone die so he won't have to worry about you going through it while he sleeps? I've never heard of that technique before.
No, me either.
I'm afraid of having a dead phone. It's like a phobia of mine.
Me too.
Like it could be 100% and it's still charged.
I know. I'm the same with mine.
Check and see if the numbers in his phone are really the people that he has them saved under. Now, this one I actually have dealt with before on several different relationships.
Oh my. Okay.
Where it's like, it'll say mom.
And it's not mom.
But then there's mom too.
Oh.
And there's mom's cell, you know, just whatever.
And or that's not mom two or mom's cell.
It's not mom two or mom's cell.
It's
or
James Lopez. Like it says on here.
I actually, another friend of mine back in the day, he always had like any girls that he was dating under work. He said just like work calling. You know,
oh my gosh.
So if the phone rang and he was with somebody, like, oh, it's work, I gotta take this, or he could just turn it off because he knew who it was.
You sneaky motherfuckers.
I know, right? Number 7, consider, does he always stay on late at work on certain days, and is he always picking up someone's shifts? You need to check on that because they pretend to be picking up a shift so that you would not be suspicious if they are gone all day. Get your butt in the car and stake him out.
Oh my gosh.
You could even get a chance to see if he's going out to lunch with anybody.
Stake him out.
Now we're getting crazy.
Well, this sucks too because, I mean, I was just involved in a situation like this that was so extreme that if I was 10 minutes late because I got stuck in traffic or something,
It was an issue.
It wasn't just an issue. It was like, who are you with? Where have you been? And it became holy shit. It was like you catch yourself taking photos and sending it of like places where you've been or places you are just to prove that you are where you're supposed to be.
Right.
That is next level bullshit. Like, okay, get your trust issues and your PTSD from your trust issues worked out before you start getting into a relationship. Because if this is how you're going to treat people, this is crazy to me. Like, these things are batshit crazy. You get that, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
And
we shouldn't be having to do these things with our person. Like, even dating, you shouldn't have to go through these extremes. Just be honest and upfront.
Put an old cell phone in his car or tape recorder under their seat in their car, and they will never know that you are listening to their conversations. You never know who they are talking to on their way home from work or anywhere. That's extreme.
Wow.
Don't drive yourself crazy and go commando on them. Just make sure that you pay attention to the small details that they think you aren't paying attention to. You don't want to live on a lie, so don't waste your time anymore and move on with life. That way you don't have to worry about any of this. That's like the most common sense thing of this whole thing. It's like, okay, if you are going to the point where you have to put a fucking tape recorder under someone's car, I think that's when you call it a day, right?
Or just ask him, like, why are you acting all shady? Like, maybe we need to end this relationship. Like, what is wrong with that type of a conversation? Everyone makes life so much harder.
This number 12, remember, to catch a player, you have to be a player.
Oh, damn. Catch a player, you gotta be a player.
I mean, so we've all been cheated on at one point.
Of course.
You know, we've all kind of dealt with, we've all had suspicions of people, even people that we loved for years.
I've been cheated on. I've been lied to.
Yeah. But guess what? We're still alive, you know?
Yeah.
We learned some things of it. Maybe a little late to learn them at 2 years old, but we saw it and we kind of know what the red flags are now. But I think that the generations that are younger now, like the teenagers and the Gen Zers, like I feel like they deal with this shit every fucking day because they are so immersed in technology that this might be more for them than it is for us now.
Yeah, I'd never want to find myself in a situation where I'm going on the app store looking for spyware for my person that I'm with.
Right.
That is some bullshit. It's not good.
All right, now we're back to our first date videos, which I think are a lot of fun. This one's nice and short and sweet.
Any wedding rings on in this one?
I didn't look for wedding rings. I'm not as good as you, as astute as you, but
I'm just giving you shit.
This one's actually kind of funny.
Okay.
It says, I asked him if he knew what my name was, and nervously he searches his phone for my name.
No.
How did you not find it yet?
I knew what it was. Now I figured it out. I could find it right away.
You had to look in your phone.
I did, and I feel horrible.
What is my name?
Liz.
Liz.
Motherfucker forgot her name and he had to go look in his phone to figure out what her name was.
That's never happened to me. That's wild.
Oh, God. Yeah.
What a dick.
And I'm terrible with names. Like, I don't remember names. I remember faces, not names.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely remember the name of the person that I'm going to the fucking bar with.
Unless he just got done meeting 2 other girls previously. Like, he's stacking them in back to back.
Right.
I mean,
he's multitasking.
Getting all the first dates out in one night.
Well, obviously, it's someone that he wasn't really impressed with at the beginning, or
he
else
didn't even make eye contact with her.
Her names.
He didn't even look at her when he said that. That's wild. What a dick.
They haven't even gotten their food yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's hilarious.
That is funny.
So, at the end of the day, you know, we're talking about spying on each other and infidelity for the most part, but I also think that people are so bored these days that they're looking to create their own problems, right? We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Where if maybe
it becomes like a drug for them, the drama.
If the drama and the trauma, all of a sudden, if you find yourself in a happy relationship that's relatively uneventful
Yeah.
and a little bit boring. There are some people that I know, and maybe it's like a subconscious attempt to sabotage the relationship, but they're like, oh, it's too quiet. Things are too good. And then they start doing this shit, and maybe they will find something, and maybe it's something that's not even like bad enough to break up the relationship with,
Yeah.
but it helps validate their own paranoia. And I know so many fucking people that do that. It's like, see, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it because it's happened before.
It's so weird.
I think that you just trust too much.
I do trust too much. And that's part of my problem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the bad. I don't know all of these weird, tricky ways to spy on people or keep tabs on them. Like, because my whole goal in my life has been be approachable.
Right.
Be approachable. Be that person that someone that you're in a relationship with can come and ask you anything or tell you anything. And I've done everything to make sure I am that way. So yeah, the lying and going behind the back and doing all this really weird, shady stuff just doesn't even make sense to me. And I'm not even talking just relationships.
Right.
Business.
Yeah.
Business partnerships. Money. I mean, where's the loyalty at anymore? I think that's probably why I feel like I message you this a lot. Sometimes I feel like I don't fit in this world because I'm the most loyal, trusting human. And even when I've been fucked over, I still stay in my lane.
Right.
Unless it has to do with my babies, my kids, or a personal threat or personal attack, then I'm coming at you.
Right.
Right.
Like a spider monkey.
Yeah, exactly. Or worse. But for the most part, it really goes with what happened to our values as humans. Honestly, like, be loyal, be open, communicate. It would save a lot of energy suck. Like, that's just it. The energy of that feels yucky, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's draining. And so, yeah, it's weird. I don't know how anyone would ever want to stay in a relationship like that if they felt like they had to spy that hard on somebody. Get out of the relationship. Don't make it toxic.
Don't make it toxic.
If things are too quiet at home because your relationship is going good, give it the benefit of the doubt. That's what I've done, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, I've been right. Like, things have been good until I find out later on that things weren't good and they were actually cheated on me or they were lying to me. But for the most part, no. Things were good because they were actually good, right? But yeah, the whole sabotaging. But there is, I can't remember what I was reading, but there is a personality disorder / trait, if you will,
mm-hmm.
where they get addicted. It's like a drug. They
Mm-hmm.
get addicted to the drama and the uneasiness and the back and forth and the roller coaster, if you will. And those people, they do that. They do exactly what you just said. They will find a problem to dig up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a sabotage, right? Like, it's a totally sabotaging thing. But yeah, it's there's a lot to say. We need to have an episode solely on one of my past relationships. Every single thing that you just talked about, he has done with
Mm-hmm.
past girlfriends. And it's scary.
Yeah.
Because you don't know who's got access to your shit.
Right.
Like, it's really scary.
It is really scary. And you know what? I also think that's why you ladies love true crime so much, because
Yeah.
I think you're little detectives in your head already.
Yeah.
And then you hear these true crime stories like, okay,
Yeah.
how did they get away with it? And how did they get caught? When I kill this motherfucker, that's exactly what I'm not going to do.
Yeah, we have to make sure we're doing it the correct way.
Well, that's another episode of the Milf and Me in the books. Everyone, make sure you check your smoke detectors, check your mattresses for motion-sensitive cameras, look under your car seats for phones and tape recorders.
Jesus.
And any malicious spyware.
Yeah, check your phone. Good hell.
Check your fucking phone. You know where to find us on the milfandmepod.com. You can email us. You can get a hold of us on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter. and we'll get back to you. Send us your stories. Hey, have you ever been spied on? Let us know.
Ooh.
Send us some messages. Send Dianna a DM.
I would love to know that story.
I love you, and I'll see you next week.
Love you too.